All right, guys, hold your horses. I know the title of the video is enticing. Don't skip ahead, all right? I promise you, I'm going to show you the car. I'm not going to do the YouTuber thing where I make you wait, all right? Just trust me on this. Give me 5 seconds of your time. You can probably already tell what it is before. We didn't do a good job wrapping it. So you can probably already tell what it is, but just shut the fuck up for like 5 seconds. Let me talk. As you guys know, I've been trying to sell the C8 for quite some time. I finally got it sold. I'm very happy with it. Thank you to the guys over at DriveMax for doing an awesome deal on this car with me. And they have the C8 for sale up there if you want to go check it out. So DriveMax over in Hiram is where the C8 is for sale if you want to go check it out. Nice guys, very nice guys. They got me in and out pretty quick. And listen, you guys probably already know what car it is. I've talked about it constantly on the channel. For 10 years, I've talked about owning this car with this particular motor. I said that this is what I wanted. I asked for surrender 5 times. Fuck it, we'll just show what the car is, all right? Are you guys ready? It's a fucking 2009 C6 Z06. We are so fucking back. Manual, 6-speed, 7-liter V8, 7 liters, 505 naturally aspirated horsepower. This is the car. This is it, boys. This is what I've all been waiting for. God damn, it feels so good. It's a manual. Obviously, I needed to get back into a manual car. It's the 7-liter. It's the LS7. And I know you guys have so many little questions, and I'm going to answer them. Let's just follow me. Hey, people's attention spans on YouTube are nothing. Follow me. Come on, let's go. Follow me. Look, follow me. All right. Woo. Yes, guys. I know. Contain your excitement. I know you have questions. This is my new to me, 2009 C6 Z06. Where do I begin? 7 liters, V8, manual transmission, freaking insane. 505 horsepower, naturally aspirated V8. One of the biggest, I think it is the biggest production gasser V8 that Chevrolet has put in their modern cars. And you guys know I've wanted that LS7 for years. For years. I've been talking about it for over a decade. I know I have. I know, there's a lot to unpack about this car. Bone stock, has never had any aftermarket parts put on it, and it is in incredibly good condition considering how many miles it has on it. This bad boy has over 70,000 miles on it. And you're thinking to yourself, Dan, what the fuck is wrong with you buying a 70,000 plus mile C6 Z06? Aren't you worried about the legendary valve drop issue that these engines have? And yeah, if you guys don't know, the LS7 came with a very fun issue, a machining issue that happened for a few years at GM. It took them a while for them to acknowledge and even do anything about, which they still haven't done anything about. But randomly, on some of these motors, the exhaust valves drop into the pistons and frag the motor, costing about 15 grand for the new engine and the rebuild. It's not a fun process, which is a reason why I went with a higher mileage stock car. The valve drop usually happens, from what I've been able to gather, it can happen at any point in time, but it usually happens in the early 20s to 30s to maybe even 40,000 miles. Very rarely do the cars make it past 50,000 miles with the valve drop issue. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna have it happen to me. We gotta be careful. We gotta fix that immediately. I'm gonna take it to a service advisor and see if they can figure out if it's had any of the shit fixed with it. But I feel like this is a good place to start. A bone stock, dirt cheap C6 Z06 in mint fucking condition. I mean, maybe not absolutely mint. It does have some areas on it that aren't perfect. The clear bra that it has on here, you can kind of see it's a little dirty, but there's some little scrapes and scripts in the clear bra. Most of that stuff is gonna come right off once we remove the bra. Like the side mirror here's got some scuff marks on it. That's all in the clear bra, which is really nice. Outside of that, man, it is in impeccable condition, insane condition. Look at underneath the hood here. Look at how clean it is underneath the hood. Absolutely fantastic. I could not be happier in the current moment with my purchase. Your boy Do It With Dildo is back in a V8 front engine manual transmission car. And boy, does it feel freaking good. Now we are doing the reveal, obviously, as you can see, in the new shop. We would love to have been moved in a little bit earlier, but you know, things are taking its time. It's a lot of work, you know, it is what it is. But we had to do the reveal in the new shop. It's the only way to showcase this car. And as you can see, we may have already done a little bit of donuts in here. We could maybe have done a little bit of donuts to christen it. And I think that's what we need to do next. So let's let's do some donuts in this thing and then get it out on the road and enjoy it. Oh, fuck. it sway. Whew. Brother.
You were a couple feet from it.
At least. Hey, I didn't knock off the camera, which is great. You know, it looks huge in here, it really is. That car has a turning radius of a truck.
Yeah.
God dang, it is a little smoky.
You would have so much more room.
We're gonna too.
You could probably do a figure 8.
Guys, there it is. That is the new ride on the channel. That's the new car. So we have the C6, we have the Dually, we have the Busa, we have the Magna, and we have the 73. And all of those are gonna be up and running hopefully this year. Finished by the end of this year, everything will be registered. I mean, obviously the C6 is, obviously the Dually is, thankfully. But we're gonna be working on the Magna and the Camaro, getting those up and running, and we're gonna make Lingenfelter Customs a kick-ass shop, dude. And obviously, John's here too, by the way. Our good boy, John. We love John. Man, the lighting in here looks great on this camera. Man, that thing looks good. That thing looks really good in here. Now, this is probably one of the best decisions that I made. Well, I mean, we'll see. But like, I've always wanted this shit, dude. I've always wanted this shit. Ah. All right, let's go drive it. You're gonna have to be patient with me, guys, because driving a manual and talking on the camera is a little bit harder than I remember it being. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Guys, this is it. We've come full circle. Please go, I would like to go. I would like to go. He said, wow, you're going so very slowly. All right, I know you guys got a lot of questions, and I know the number one question is gonna be, Dan, why the Z06, why not the ZR1? A lot of people don't think of the C6 Z06 as like the peak car for the C6. They think of the ZR1 as the peak car for the C6, and I don't disagree with you. I think that the ZR1 is probably the peak car for the C6 series. I think it's probably the best option there is. However, it's not what I wanted. I've never wanted the LS9. I think the LS9 is an amazing engine, beautiful platform, no issues basically, almost bulletproof. But I want that LS7. And then you guys can argue with me all you want, but to me, an LS9 is just a built LS3. It's a 6.2 that's supercharged that makes a lot of horsepower. Hot take. This platform, this is the LS7. It's a 7-liter. I've always wanted the LS7. I think it's the best sounding engine in the world. That is personal preference. People are like, oh wow, you don't like the LF8? No, I think it sounds like tinny dog shit. The LS7 is 7 liters of pure fuck yeah. Pure American bald eagles. Man, it's harder to like be recording while jammy in gears. I haven't driven a manual transmission since I bought the C8, which was almost 5 years ago. Four and a quarter. 4 1/4. It's different. That LS7 is different, brother. It delivers power so differently. So yeah, just to simply answer that question, I've always wanted an LS7. I have looked wholeheartedly at the LS7 through 2 different platforms. There's really only 2 platforms that the LS7 came in, and that was the C6 Z06, right? And then a very limited run 5th gen Camaro, a 2014 and 2015 Z28 Camaro came with the option for a radio. It came with an option for an air conditioner, which means that you can option the car without heat and AC. But it came factory with a manual transmission and an LS7. It's a very beautiful package car, and I looked at those. Ultimately, this worked out the best, price range-wise. And that's another reason that kept me away from the ZR1, is price. I paid less than 40 grand for this car. It is high mileage, right? The 70 some odd miles, 70,000 miles. We purposely went with a higher mileage car, a cheaper, higher mileage car. So that way, if the engine blew up tomorrow, I would be like, that sucks, but like, I'd figure it out. Versus like, if I'd bought like a $50,000 Z06, which they still have C6, like a 2013 C6 Z06 with low miles, which is still subject to the valve drop issue, believe it or not. You're looking at 50, almost 60K for those. I can't remember exactly what I paid for this car. It was somewhere around like mid-30s, I want to say. It wasn't even like I looked for this car specifically. It just happened. I did my nightly check. I have 2 things that I check every night. The C6 Z06 and the C8 Z06. And I try to see which one makes the most sense to me. And then if I can't find one, then I don't buy one. Well, this car was listed. And I thought to myself, I was like, that's below really what I want to be paying for a car. and I'm not scared of the mileage. So I went to the dealership. I went to DriveMax, and I was like, hey, this is kind of what I want for my car. This is kind of what I want for y'all's car. And you know, if you guys can make it work, you guys can make it work. If not, I'll go home. They ran some numbers and they came back to me like, hey, dude, we got you below what you wanted. We got you cheaper than what you wanted. I was like, fuck, I guess I gotta do it now. I guess I gotta run the numbers. So I did. I put my money where my mouth was, and I got the car that I've always been wanting. It's a fucking C6 Z06 manual transmission. I got it, dude. I've wanted one since I was a young whippersnapper. I wanted one since I was a little baby boy. And I could not be happier, dude. I just could not be happier. Fuck! Come on, man. Third gear is insane. One of the things that I'm learning is like third gear, it's just all of it. I texted my dad, I said it's magical, and he called me gay, so. I was like, dude, third gear in this car is bananas. You just ask for power, and it freaking goes. Would you guys be interested in doing a POV drive of this car? You know, if I were to do like a GoPro on my head and do like a POV drive around town, stuff like that, or maybe at night, especially when I have some more mods done to it. Oh, and there she is, man. In my opinion, we have now the most peak lineup that I've ever had between the dually and the Busa and the Magna, the 73 and the Corvette. I feel like this is easily, by far, the best lineup I've ever had on the channel. And I do have a lot of plans. Let's talk about them really quick. I don't want to bore you with all my plans, especially because I know that a lot of you guys were expecting me to get back into a 5th gen Camaro. I thought that was really interesting. I feel like I've done better here. So first and foremost, we talked about how we're gonna be fixing the head issue, right? We need to fix the head issue on the car. We'll do heads, cam, intake, HCI. I think that's a very standard Chevrolet V8 manual transmission, you know, pushrod V8 standard bog package, right? I don't know who I'm gonna go with yet. We'll cover that bridge when we get down to it. But I definitely wanna do heads. I definitely wanna do a big old fat cam. I missed the lope. Probably headers too, because you just gotta do all those things. But that's like a lot of like really heavy duty, expensive shit. That's gonna cost a couple of grand to do that kind of work. What about the smaller stuff, right? Like if we look on the inside, you guys get to see just how flawless this is in here. There's no tears in the seats, there's no rips, there's no stitching, there's no failures, the dashboard isn't cracked, there's no leather coming up. I looked up the history of this car, and there was 3 owners before me. The first 2 owners sold it with low mileage, and then the last owner basically put 50 to 60,000 miles. He basically daily drove this car for like 5 years. And someone who basically daily drives a C6 Z06 and then keeps it in this good a condition is another reason why I bought this car. It's because I know this car has been well taken care of. Like they drove it, right? It didn't just sit in a garage, which is cool. Like some people prefer the garage kept stuff. I kind of prefer a car that's seen the road a little bit. It's not gonna be surprised at anything that I do to it. Another thing I wanna do is swap out this radio. This is actually a factory GM touchscreen radio back in 2009. It's very limited, doesn't have Bluetooth, doesn't have USB ports, doesn't have aux port, none of that. So that's another reason I want to replace that. But me being me, this is something you guys don't care about now, but there are issues with the Bose system like there was with the dually. Go figure. I knew it might be, which is why I looked into it before I bought my head unit. So, and everything I do will be on video. So when I buy the head unit and replace it, I'll show you guys how I do it. When I do the cam, we'll do the wheels, tires, exhaust, whatever it is, this is all gonna be on video. This is gonna be a long-term, hopefully another 3, 4, 5 year car like the C8 was. The C8 treated me so well. I'm happy that chapter is closed, right? Listen to this, listen to this. Beautiful, beautiful door close. And it is a little dirty right now. I've been doing donuts inside of a shipping container, basically, is what it looks like, right? But I don't know if you guys can see what I see. I guys don't know if you see the potential like I see the potential, you know? But this is the platform I've always wanted. Like since I was a kid. I remember when the C6 Z06 came out, I was young. It was like 2007, 2006, something like that. Actually, I think 2006 they had the wrong engine in it, and then they put the LS7. And once I heard about that LS7, I listened to it. I learned about that motor. I knew that's what I wanted. It's been my autistic fixation since I was a boy. So I'm very, very excited to show this to you guys. Just very proud, very happy. And it's not perfect, you know, it's 70 some odd thousand miles. It's 2009. It's been a little bit worn down here and there, and we're gonna bring it all up to brand new. We're gonna refurbish it all, make it all nice. I mean, even factory wheels, dude. Even factory wheels. That's the crazy thing. You guys don't know how clean it is back here. I mean, just how spotless it is. We got the factory soft close. The Z06 stitching on the headrest. The Corvette logo embossed onto the dashboard. We do have this early carbon fiber trim. This is all carbon fiber. It's hard to tell from this camera, but I don't know if that's OEM. I'm assuming it's OEM. We might keep that, we might swap it. But whoever owned this car before me did a good job of keeping it really nice, really clean, polished. I mean, just overall, I'm very happy with the condition of this car, and hopefully we won't have to do much. Now, for me, the biggest thing when stepping away from the C8 was my ego, right? I didn't realize, like I kind of had an idea. I wasn't really expecting how much of a different experience this car is compared to the C8, which I've been used to. Just how comfortable I had gotten with electronic steering, the magnetic ride, how much of a difference that makes on the road. Like I've taken racing school, I've driven a bunch of different cars and motorcycles, but going between the two is very jarring. All my ego is out the window, like the C8 is. The C8 is just like, it feels like it's designed to be on rails. Like it's like, oh, you just get in, you press the gas, and then the car does the work for you. Whereas like, this is a driver's car, and it is very clear to me. You know, and another thing that I'm noticing about this car is just how much smaller it is than the C8. So not only does it weigh a lot less than the C8, I think the C8 came in somewhere around 3,600 pounds, 3,700 pounds, somewhere around there. This only comes in around 3,100 pounds. And it's mostly because they gave these guys an aluminum chassis versus like the C6 base, which has a steel and aluminum chassis. You also don't get a target top like you do on the C8 or the C6 or the C7 or whatever, specifically because they gave this guy a solid magnesium roof. So to save weight and be strong, magnesium, we like that. And it's also got a much smaller footprint than my C8 did. Look how small it is compared to the C8. If you guys have seen this garage with the C8 in here, you guys know how much room that thing took up. And it's also, I had to Google this because I got it next to Laura's BMW. Its wheelbase is pretty much the exact same. Like, I mean, to like a quarter of an inch or something like that. It's really weird. So this car is just like a much smaller car. Look how tiny it is compared to even Laura's 2 Series and her M235i. It's so pequeño, muy pequeño. Dude, I could not be happier with this thing. It's the car I've wanted since I was a kid, man. Since I was a little kid. And I don't mean like the GTR, you know, like every kid wants a GTR, like, oh, I want my dream car, my GTR. I mean like my true, from a kid perspective, like I've always wanted one of these and I finally own it, and I think it's gonna be really good for the channel moving forward. But we will do the usual, wheels, tires. I think I'll probably wanna update the suspension. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna cover all the stuff I wanna do with it in this video, because I really just wanna post photos of this thing on fucking Instagram. I've had this thing for like a week now, haven't been able to talk about it. So here you guys go, C6, Z06, I hope you like it. You have no idea the hell I'm going to bring you. All right, I'm gonna try not to wreck this one. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Now that's how you christen a new shop, by the way, guys. That's how you christen a new shop.